I work mostly with conflicts, with environmental conflicts, and with the conflict transformation framework, and looking at indigenous movements in different parts of Latin America, how they engage with difficult situations that take place in their lands, and indigenous struggles for greater environmental justice, basically. Transformations in practice means actually working at different levels, working to produce structural change in institutions and legal frameworks and economic frameworks, political frameworks, the activities that communities have to do to impact on change at that level, but also changes in people's relations and interactions, so working at the relational level, and also producing change to impact on cultural, what we call cultural domination. So trying to rethink narratives, worldviews, to produce wider scale changes in people's imaginaries, basically, of the future and of the present. So this involves working in cultural revitalisation, reconstruction of knowledges, reconnecting with the earth, revitalising people's connection with the place, to produce a change in that level of conflicts. This is the cultural level. And if you want to impact producing transformations in practice in people's interactions, you have to start by strengthening communities' organization, sometimes even their knowledge and understanding of conflicts and how to strengthen the negotiation capacities in conflicts. And if you want to produce change at the structural level, is how to develop strategies of resistance, how effective they are, how you have to engage with wider political systems, do lobbying, but also become leaders to have a place in national congresses so that you can impact on political change as well. So it involves a wide range of transformations in practice. I have been involved in a couple of transformative experiences at the community level, which have been very, very powerful. One has been helping indigenous peoples in Venezuela, in the Canaima National Park, particularly in one community called Cumaracapay, to work to critically reflect about who they are as a people. This actually was put forward to me by a leader who when I was trying to do research in his land as a sociologist, he said, you can do research about conflicts here as long as you help us reflect of who we are, because we're losing sight of who we are as a people. So we developed a participatory research process with the community for a year, helping to reconstruct their identity. And this was based on trying to reconstruct their past, analyze critically their future, and try to help visualize a desired future. And that led to what they call the development of a life plan for the village, and culminated 10 years later with the publication of a book authored by the village about its history, its present, and its future. And it was a very powerful process, because it's actually been a lot. When I say transformations, actually are not always very quick. They take time, especially when you work with communities. It was a very powerful process of transformation in strengthening dignity of the village, and in helping them have dialogue with other actors from the park that make them invisible and that don't really acknowledge their own history and their past. And for the younger generations who are losing sight of who they are as a people. So that was one. And the other one, more recent one, was a similar one, helping to reconstruct the history of the Monkosh indigenous peoples in Bolivia through the use of participatory videos. And this was actually much quicker. We did this not in 15 years, we did it in 3. And that has actually helped the Monkosh people start doing much more deeper dialogues about the need to strengthen their autonomy, how to strengthen their autonomous management of their lands, and to create links with the government over the issue of future autonomy rights in Bolivia for indigenous peoples. It takes time, depends a lot. It is actually quite a context-dependent situation. It depends a lot on the people that are around. And I think change happens a lot when you find the key people that you can connect with, that are in the right place in the right time, that can make those changes. From my experience, the most successful process of transformation I have been involved with have been when the right people get together to consciously work towards that change. So when we have created links with people that are key players within the government, that have also connections with the topper level decision-making people, that can be those connectors is very important in conflict transformation to what we call develop spider webs with connectors that keep the spider web tight and balanced. And when that happens, it's very beautiful, because that's when the magic of the transformation takes place. It's when the web is tightly connected through those key actors that engage with a common vision of the transformation.